Abigail, thanks for joining me for this. I suppose it's a full post course interview, isn't it?
Yeah.
So we're just going through in terms of where you came from in terms of your football journey before you joined the foundation, and then obviously why you joined the foundation in the first place, the journey you went on, and then maybe why you would encourage people to join the foundation as well, because obviously I can speak from my experience as a coach, but it's always good to get those experiences and those sorts of case studies from players as well. So, firstly, very simple. When did you start playing football, and what teams did you play for? What experiences have you got?
Well, I actually didn't start playing until I was a bit older. I can't really remember exactly the age. I always had played with like my dad and my brother, but actually competitively, I didn't start playing till I think I was probably 11, 12 maybe, that sort of age. And I played for a few local teams. We were called Sacriston at the time, and then we changed to Framlegate Moor Girls. It was a fun team, but we were always struggling for numbers, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And then I played for Lumley Ladies the last 2 or 3 seasons. I played for them at like under 16, under 18, and then development. And I started playing for the development team and the youth team when I was 16.
Yeah.
So they're all the teams I played for.
So then, obviously, when you finished, well, I wouldn't say you finished with Lumley Ladies. I don't know if you continue, but when you were leaving school, was football your sort of first priority, or was it very much the recruitment events with the foundation swayed you towards maybe joining the programme?
Well, I'd heard about the programme through various things and through like going to the Sunderland games. They were all advertised at half time and things like that.
Yeah.
And I like doing the best I can in everything. And I just thought, well, I've been playing football this long and I love it. I just want to improve as much as I can. And it seemed like the best place to do that. I looked elsewhere and I knew really I wanted to do A-levels as well.
Mm-hmm.
So I looked elsewhere because I was looking at the sixth form at the school I went to, which would have been just no football, but the Durham and then Foundation of Light as well. So I decided after I went to open days everywhere, and I really didn't decide until very last minute. But I decided to go to the foundation because it was the place. The coaches I liked better, and they seemed like they were going to be more accommodating with doing A-levels and being able to train and not miss training for that.
Yeah, of course.
And linking in with the school as well. So that seemed like really that was the reason why I picked there, and playing in a Sunderland kit, playing at the Beacon, that just swayed me more.
Yeah, of course. I mean, what is it about the Beacon especially that you mostly enjoyed? Was it the rooftop pitch? Was it the whole environment?
I think it's the whole environment as well. That's why after the open days and things, I just loved the environment of everyone was just in one place. It's like a hub of football where everyone wants to improve.
Yeah.
So that's like, wasn't just playing for a sixth form team. It's like we were there to improve as footballers and as people too. But just the whole sort of mindset was about improvement and development, not just playing football for the sake of it.
Yeah, was that the message from day one when you went in? It was because we pretty much relay that message every single day to the boys squads as well, about being good people as well as good players. Did you see that from yourself throughout the 2 years, and did you also see that from other players in the girls squad that maybe they did improve as people?
I would say it was implemented from the start, but more so in my second year was when it was really like upped. I think my first year the programme was still newer and was like finding its feet a little bit on the girls' side, but we still had everything very professional and things like that. It's just the whole message and became clearer and stronger after we'd all had a year seeing what it was like. Then as a group we got closer and all sort of bought into the message more of improvement and helping each other improve as well.
Yeah, I know some of the girls from when you just left your second year. They're obviously still there, like Gibbo, like Grace, like Erin, and a few others as well. So have you kept in touch with them much?
Yeah, a lot. We're still really good friends. We all keep in touch, and I think that's the other side. Like, as well as all helping each other and being on the pitch, especially through things like lockdowns, and even when I've moved away to America, we still, we were like when lockdown first started, we were FaceTiming, doing our own quizzes, organising in pairs, things like that. I still talk to them all when I've been halfway across the world. It's just, and I ask how they're doing, and they ask how I'm doing. I had a game that was streamed, a friendly at the start before our season.
Oh yeah, they mentioned that actually. Yeah. Yeah, they mentioned that we're going to watch you, class.
I try and watch their games if I can, or sometimes when I'm still in like the team up groups, when the highlights are put on, I have a look and things like that. I try and we all support each other, and I ask them how their games have been, and we sort of report back to each other.
And critique and positives and negatives.
Yeah.
Class, love that. So we'll come into America a little bit later, but what would you say to a year 11 student that is girls and boys, doesn't have to be just girls, but a year 11 student that is maybe not so sure about what they want to do? Why do you think they should choose the Foundation of Light?
I think it just puts you in good stead. The fact you can do BTEC or A-levels and still get the maximum amount of training means that you're gonna definitely get a good qualification as long as you put the work in on that side.
Yeah.
But there's the opportunity to do both, either BTEC or A-levels.
Mm-hmm.
And the fact that you don't miss training means that even with doing A-levels, like on some other programs elsewhere, you miss out on some training sessions because of doing A-levels. I found that even if I had to miss one, Steve would do a one-on-one session with me in the barn, like later that day, so that I wasn't missing out on anything. And that was rare. There was most of the times I would be able to make the team training. And I think at the foundation, you just get more of an opportunity in that way. It just opens more doors because you're getting your good qualification and you're getting the same amount of training as anyone else, and you feel more part of the team. And that allows you to go on and improve more as a player and a person.
Yeah, it's something I've definitely noticed about the girls' programme is that, especially with Stevie as well, is that you try and cover loads of sort of topics in the game. It's not just, it's not, well, I don't know what it was like for you, but I've not seen small-sided games every single day, or I've not seen technique stuff every single day. It's been a bit of a mixture. So what would your typical training session look like?
It would be different depending on, we would have strength and conditioning too, which is also another great bonus of the foundation.
Yeah.
Because not everywhere offers that, and it's on like proper programming. We've got the gym and everything. But I would agree with that. The training was rotated quite a lot. So Monday when I was there, we would do strength and conditioning, and then we would go out and do some football based stuff too. Because our training sessions are like 2 hours, so we'd spend a reasonable amount of time on each. And we'd focus on things that we were planning to do for the game on Wednesday, but we'd be able to do it more high intensity because it's still a few days till the game.
Yeah.
But often like different passing combinations, and the theme of the kind of the ethos of the whole team was like sort of remained the same throughout the season. But if we were going into a game with a particular idea of how we wanted to play against that opponent, we'd talk about that on Monday. And the practices would be based around that. Sometimes it's like obviously, but sometimes more sort of in the background. It was making you think about it subconsciously. But then on Tuesdays, we would probably talk over that further and do more sort of passing patterns and ways of playing that we're going to do. More sort of tactical, but still playing quite a lot in the session too, but just not overly. And then Wednesday would be games. Thursday normally be recovery or sort of small-sided games, that kind of thing, little like football, tennis, that sort of thing as well. And then Friday would be back to starting on what we want to do the next week in the game already.
So there was bit of a silly question potentially, but there was structure, but also there was little bit of freedom to express yourself as a player.
Yeah, definitely. I think like a lot of the training sessions I think they were done cleverly so that they were structured towards how we wanted to play, and also how we wanted to build the whole team throughout, not even just the season, but like the years to come.
Yeah.
The whole foundation, like the whole way of playing. But sometimes the coaches didn't always have to make that obvious to us. They were doing it in the background, and it was explained to us over time. But it wasn't necessarily every session like this is for this is for this. You were left to figure out yourself and work out the connections. I think that is what my age group especially improved a lot between the first year and the second year, was putting the tactics into practice with what we would do in training and then using them in a game. So we would talk, we would use the board, and Steve would use the board, Scott would use the board, the training and even the S&C stuff, and would like explain different positions, and then we would go into a game in training using like that sort of those principles and working on those tactics, and then we'd try and implement it in the game.
Brilliant, love that. So it sounds like there's certainly things to look forward to if you were to join the programme. How much did Stevie Mac pay you to say that, by the way?
Nothing.
Nothing. Wow. Well, that's very big compliment for Stevie, but obviously well deserved. So after your course, you went to America. Probably the worst time to go to America because of COVID-19. So how long were you actually over there for, and what if anything did you manage to experience?
I was only a little bit delayed because in America they're a lot more relaxed about the whole situation.
Really?
You can travel as a student. You can get an exemption to the travel ban. So it just took a little longer for things to be processed. I was meant to go at the start of August, but I sort of went mid-August. So it wasn't too late.
Right.
And we started, normally the season would be August. So it'd be like August, September, October would be the season. It's a very short season. They play a lot of like 2 or 3 games a week, close together. But because of coronavirus, the whole association, everyone's seasons are being put back to the next semester, which is now, like starting, this season starts in March or April now.
Mm-hmm.
So we just had training, but we had friendlies as well. There was a certain amount of games and training sessions we were allowed. It was like 2 months, so we didn't really do much in August, but then September, October we did more. We were allowed to go a little bit into November, but there was just a certain amount of, it was just some of the restrictions they had in place. But we trained twice a week football, 3 times a week. So on a Monday, typically when we got started, we'd have a 6 a.m. conditioning session. So the session actually starts at 6, so we'd have to get up at 5, make our way to the complex, and that would be, we normally do some cardio endurance kind of running things, then some sprints, that sprint based interval things, and then we would do weights or circuits.
Mm-hmm.
And that was Monday, Wednesday, Friday. And then we had actual football training or soccer training out on the field. That was on Tuesday, Thursday, Friday. So we kind of like, we'd have the conditioning Monday, training Tuesday, conditioning Wednesday, training Thursday, and then both we were meant to have on a Friday. But when we actually started, we were having friendlies a lot on the Saturdays.
Yeah.
So we often didn't do both on a Friday. We would just go to training, or we would have nothing if we were travelling and playing the next day.
Brilliant. I think the 6 a.m. start, just stop there for me. Like, it's not even, I'm not even going to entertain anything else. But no, as long as you enjoyed it, that's obviously the main thing. So just to quickly finish off, then, what would you say in the 2 years you were actually at the Foundation Light Scholarship Programme, what was your highlight, or what were your highlights? There might be more than one.
Well, the first year when we won the EFL League, that was really good. We won it. We beat Man City to win it, and on their blue pitch at the Etihad campus, that was That was great.
Yeah.
And I think overall, just a highlight for me is like seeing how far the whole group came. Mm-hmm. Like at the start, with the way that it was organised, I actually spent a lot of time with the older girls because I did A-levels and they trained opposite times. Now they all train together.
Yeah.
But I think as a group, we became a lot closer and more of one squad rather than two teams. And the principles, you could really see like the ethos that Steve was trying to get through, and the foundation as a whole, sort of really coming through in our second year. And the way we played on the pitch, you could just see we were using all of the things that we were trying to implement. We actually managed in the games, and we would be a lot more independent, but as a group we wouldn't need the coaches to tell us things more. People would take on that role and organise on the pitch and give tactics and things like that. We just, as a group, we became more solid as a unit, and going forward we were able to use the things that Steve had taught us without him necessarily having to explicitly say what was what. And I think that was a highlight for me, how far we came, and knowledgeable players as well as actually being able to do it.
Yeah, I think the big thing, what I've took from the conversation I've had is that ultimately from day one to the day you left, is that you've all become more knowledgeable footballers, better people, but
yeah,
the coaches have had an effect on you as a person, which is our job. But you know, it seems like it's gone in with a lot of the players. Would you say that was the case?
Yeah, definitely. I think not only did we improve as actual players and as people, it's just like the football IQ kind of, that aspect really was driven and came out a lot more. Yeah, definitely in myself. I feel like I came out a better footballer and person as well, but also a cleverer footballer.
Brilliant, class. Love that. Well, I think Steve definitely has paid you something, but we'll let it slide. But cheers for that chat, Mossy. I'll send it over to Steve, and hopefully we'll chat to you again soon, and obviously get well soon as well.
Yes, thank you.
No problem.